Welcome to the Ho-Ho Show, rated the #1 most listened to podcast on Pluto. So join us now as we discuss news, politics, current events, and so much more. So clear the airways and strap in as we defend the Constitution. Because freedom matters.
Broadcasting live from the Cottage Studio. You can check out my website, thehohoshow.com. I'm all over the place on social media and a proud member of Weaponized Sloth Productions. So welcome to the Ho-Ho Show. And as always, I am your host. And welcome, Linda, over there in Spreaker. Welcome also Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Periscope, Facebook. How are y'all's doing? It's good to see you. And yes, it is great to hear from you too, Linda, live. This is it's been a while. Awesome to see you over there. And I am also joined in studio today by none other than Ray. How you doing, sir?
Hello. How's it going?
It's going good. How you been?
Busy.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You've been all kinds of busy.
Yeah, so it's bad weather out this weekend, so I have nothing to do, so
yeah,
here I am.
Yeah, I got another storm coming, don't we?
Yeah, tomorrow.
Yeah.
Not as bad as the last one, but
right, yeah.
just enough to play havoc.
Right. Linda says, hello, Ray and Vector. Yeah, Vector's over here being a pain. He's
just like his daddy.
Hey, now. Yeah, but he calls you mom for some reason. What the heck is up with that?
Well, that's for another show. That's the late night show.
Oh, boy, it's getting deep in here.
Yes.
Wow.
Starting already.
Well, we've got all kinds of things we're going to discuss today. We're going to talk about a little bit about our favorite Miss Potato Head and it was funny. Linda commented on I don't know if it was last week's or the week before last. She was like, "Hey, that's a disgrace to us people in Dakota or something like that." I don't remember where it said she was from, but I was like, dude, that's hilarious. South Dakota, maybe, I think it was. I could be wrong on that. I don't remember.
You're offending all the potatoes.
Yeah, exactly. I'm offending the places where potatoes go and come from and grow and all this other kind of stuff. And, they have families and whatnot. But Idaho potatoes. Yeah, that's what it was. So we have this thing that we talk about in Illinois quite often. And that is, we would just like to give Chicago to Canada.
I wouldn't wish Chicago on anybody, but if we're going to give it to somebody, we can give it to Canada. That's fine.
Yeah. Well, I seen this headline out of USA Today, and this is a petition that's evidently making its round to sell Montana to Canada for $1 trillion to pay off U.S. debt.
Oh, boy.
That's kind of what I thought. I was like, dude, really? Why can't we just give them Chicago? I mean, really? It's got to be worth $1 billion.
We probably couldn't sell it anyway because China probably already owns Montana anyway. So
well, this could be true. This could be true. But yeah, I seen that petition and I was like, oh, wow, that's hilarious. That reminds me how we all think about Chicago. It's like that's hilarious. So I mean, yeah, we've also got the let's see, the border wall stuff we're going to talk about. I mean, no big surprise there. Emergency crisis, and
right.
We're going to talk about some of the stuff with that. We've got what the heck is that? Oh, okay. Some gun law stuff, from Illinois. Some gun control, and then just some overall numbers about how many gun control laws there are out there on the books right now. And holy crap, there's a lot of them.
I believe so.
Yeah. There's a lot. I was like, holy crap. And we had a shooting, a mass shooting.
Right.
Just last week, well, Friday. Wait, that's yesterday. Wasn't it? Yeah, so yesterday in Aurora, Illinois, at a plant or a factory.
A factory somewhere, yeah.
Yeah. And of course, I mean, you got people. Should we actually even get into that yet? I don't know if we should get into that. Let's not get into that yet.
Okay, we'll put that on hold.
We'll put that on hold. Because the gun control debate, it's like, well, you know me, and
yes.
Oh, wait, it's not even over there. Hold on. Oh, defending the Constitution. That's the thing that I like to do. But let's see, we've got some, some Trump stuff we want to talk about. We got Michelle Obama. Of course, some gun control stuff. AOC, gotta love talking about AOC. And then I just got some weird news that I had seen, and I'm like, dude, this stuff is like right out of a, sci-fi movie, The Rocketeer. And then I seen something.
Well, that was a scary picture of what you just passed up right there.
That one right there?
Oh, wow.
That one?
Yeah.
That's a scary picture?
That's a scary picture.
That's
right
terrifying.
There.
That's terrifying. That's the thing dreams are made of. I mean, we call them nightmares. But, and a picture of, AOC. And a thing that...
Zombie apocalypse has already started.
Actually, yeah, they talked about that.
Yeah.
Deer
yes.
zombie. Yeah, I seen that, and I'm like, what?
I think I posted that. I think I might have sent that to you. That they're talking about possibly the deer zombie virus is transmitting to humans now.
Yeah, they're. I guess that's a concern that they have right now. And I'm going to be honest with you, I haven't read anything into, into that at all. My mind more or less went right to the mad cow's disease. And dude, there was an awesome audio that I heard of, a mad cow, because you got like a regular cow and it's like, moo, and then you got the mad cow and it's moo, just going crazy and all nuts and whatnot. And I'm like, that's hilarious. But I was kind of like, is that kind of what this zombie deer thing is? I mean, what is that?
Well, I just reposted. I put in my header. I said, "Stock up on Twinkies," because you never know. I mean, just in case, make sure you have at least 2 boxes of Twinkies on hand, because this thing could get serious overnight.
That's actually one of them things. Whenever Host is closed, I was like, "Oh my God, the zombie apocalypse is real. Nobody's going to be able to find Twinkies." I had to laugh. I so had to laugh.
I think we went to somewhere that night and looked for ho-hos and everything else at the store.
Yeah. They're finally making a part 2 to that.
Really?
Yeah. It's apparently in the works, or they've finished. I know they're making a part 2 now. I mean, finally, it's like, what, 20 years after the fact?
Now, that would be good, releasing that one with Spaceballs, too, at the same time.
Oh, yeah. And hello, Samantha, over there in Facebook land. Good to see you. Mwahahaha. That's what she, that was her comment over there in Facebook. It was great.
Samantha, do you have your Twinkies?
Dude, Twinkies are amazing. Dude, okay, I went out and bought me. This is okay. I'm just going to start right now by saying this is absolutely horrible. Okay. I'm just going to start this conversation by saying this is horrible. Okay. I got 2 boxes. I got a box of Ding Dongs, and I got a box of white chocolate Ding Dongs. They were the same size. And that's all the further I'm going into that. Exactly.
You know what was even funnier was, actually it was, yeah, I think it was.
I told you guys that was horrible. Just saying.
Thursday, like right after that article came out. I get
about the deer zombie?
The deer zombies.
No.
I get in the truck with my boss like in the early afternoon, just doing my own thing. Climb up in the truck, sit down, strap my seatbelt in, and what's he got on the dashboard? No kidding, a box of Twinkies.
Nice.
Yes. So I was like,
That's
I
awesome.
seen you're prepared.
What'd he say?
He's like, what?
Oh, he didn't get the reference? Oh, come on.
Explain the article to him, and then he got it. But yeah. So, yeah, make sure you have 2 boxes of Twinkies on hand.
Right. You know, we might as well go ahead and get into this one. I was going to hold off and wait on this one, but
Yeah, go for it.
I feel, let's see, is it politically correct to compare ding-dongs? That's what Linda put. I don't really think so. I don't really think that's a fair comparison to make. And just ding-dongs, you know. I thought it was so. Actually, I had to buy a box of each because I haven't had the white chocolate ding-dongs. I've never had those before. You know, and frozen ding-dongs are amazing. You know, when they're ice cold. And okay, all right, we're done.
I'm waiting for chocolate mint ding-dongs.
Dude, St. Patty's Day.
With like chocolate mint. The stuff in the middle be like minty too.
St. Patty's Day, dude. They have like green ding dongs and whatnot for St. Patty's Day.
They do?
Yeah.
Ooh.
You've never seen green ding dongs?
Well, I hope I never have a green ding dong.
We need to move off of this. We need to get off these ding dongs. Holy crap.
If you got a green ding dong, you got problems.
How did this even start? I think I started this. All right, well, all right, moving on. So, hello, everybody. Welcome to the Ho Ho Show. I'm your host, Ho Ho, and this is Ray. Whoop, whoop. We have a good time, guys. We really do. So, this is a headline. It comes from the Daily Wire. Parents outraged after a man who identifies as a woman assaults a 10-year-old daughter in a woman's bathroom and gets a slap on the wrist.
Huh?
Yeah, exactly. Now, you see, this is something that everybody on the right, was talking about this as this is going to happen.
Right.
Whenever you start removing all the labels, who's to stop a pedophile from going into a woman's bathroom and assaulting somebody's daughter?
And I think when that first started out, we said right here on this show, first thing, boom, this is going to turn bad.
Yeah, I mean, that is one of the fears that has been going on since day one. And because of the politically correct environment that everybody lives in today, we can't offend anybody on anything. The guy gets off with a slap on the wrist. Did you watch the video?
I'm afraid.
The guy, girl, that woman that is obviously has a, he's got a pair, and he gets called sir, and he's like, obviously it's, okay, hold on a second. He's not, obviously it's ma'am. He's like, obviously it's ma'am. How dare you, you've seen the video, I'm assuming. Yeah. Ridiculous. Science.
If she has a goatee like you, I'm going to call you sir. I'm sorry.
Right.
That's all there is to
it. Linda put in here, anyone assaulting anyone, especially children, should be prosecuted equally, whether they are gender nonconformists or not. And you know what? You're absolutely right. You know, assaulting a child, you know, that's just a whole new level of low right there. You know, especially assaulting a child. You're assaulting somebody whom basically cannot defend themselves and is at the mercy of whomever adult is there. You know, I mean, that's just what it amounts to. And that's, I mean, yeah, we're poking fun of it, you know, but I mean, that's just, this is a huge, horrible thing that it's a shame that it's being taken so lightly, that nothing is getting done. And really, okay, this headline came out. Now I'm actually kind of curious about this. Ooh, all genders restroom. Yeah, okay, whatever. This came out the 15th. Okay, so this came out yesterday. And
happy post-Valentine's Day, by the way.
Daily Wire. Oh, yeah. Will you be my No, I'm not even asking that question. But this is the only time that I've heard of anything like this going on. You know, I've not heard of anything like this anywhere. You know, and of course, this is on the Daily Wire, so this is more a right-leaning journalist news organization. You know, this is by no way, shape, or form, you know, something from the left.
So the little bit of that leaks out, it makes you wonder how many other stories out there that are being suppressed. That how many other times that this has gone on, and the liberal side of the mainstream media just pushes it to the side.
It's definitely possible. I mean, I don't, you know, I don't want to throw out a, you know, like this is something that mainstream media is definitely oppressing. You know, that they're shushing their mouth on this and nothing's getting out, because I know that whenever this was first coming on, whenever it was first becoming a thing, that there were a lot of people, you know, parents in general. Now, I'm not talking left, I'm not talking right, I'm talking parents that were like, no. You know, I'm going into that bathroom first. I'm going to find out who's in there, and if I see a guy walking into a bathroom, I don't care if they're wearing a dress or not, I'm going in too. You know, I mean, I know a lot of parents, that was their attitude on it. You know, that was very much their attitude. And oh, sweet. Mr. Michael Spencer over there in Facebook land. XT Exteriors can build the wall for $100 billion.
I already told him about your box of Twinkies on the dashboard the other day, by the way.
Yes, he did. He told me all about your box of Twinkies. Gotta love them Twinkies. That was an excellent movie. But it actually kind of makes me, you know, I don't want to say that either. No. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to go there because I don't want to, you know, because I don't know, you know, what was going on in the parents' mind. I don't know, you know, regardless of anything, I don't want to paint the parents in a light that should not be shined on them. You know, so I'm not going to say that. I have some stuff. I'm not going to say it. I'm not going to go there. Moving on. I love Twinkies. You know what? I love Twinkies too, Mike. Twinkies are absolutely amazing. Twinkies are great.
Have you ever had them deep fried or anything?
No, I haven't. Are they good?
I've heard they're good. I've had deep fried Snickers, but not a deep fried Twinkie.
They have those at the deep fried Twinkies and deep fried Twinkie. Stop, rewind, play. Deep fried Twinkies and deep fried Snickers at the State Fair.
Right.
I've never. I don't go to the State Fair.
Well, they had them at our Chili Fest, deep fried Snickers.
Yeah.
This last time, it was good. I don't want to know how many calories were in it, but it was good.
God, no. Dude, it's like you can feel your veins.
Yep.
You know, just closing right up on you. All right, let's move on. Let's see. Let's get into. You know, since we've kind of gotten into this one, you know, with a little bit of the left stuff, you know, and whatnot. This headline is from Town Hall. Democrats must remove Representative Omar from Foreign Affairs Committee and cut off campaign funds. You see, what happened is she made some type of a, okay, now for those of you that don't know, okay, she is a Somalian-born Muslim, and she is basically hostile against Israel. Okay, I mean, that's just the only other way to put it. That's, and this isn't anybody putting a label on her. This is her putting the label on herself. So we are not assuming her views. She has openly confirmed this is how she feels. And she is calling into question the legitimacy of Israel. A longtime reliable ally of the U.S., and she is calling in the legitimacy of Israel. It's like, okay, look. Now, okay. There's a lot of people out there, that are definitely anti-Israel, but it's one thing to be anti-Israel and for people to assume that based off of, where you stand on different policies, but it's another to openly say that Israel is not a legitimate country.
Right.
That's another. So here you have again, this is a prime example of the left drowning in its own ideology, I guess you can say. Yeah. I guess. That sounds good. So now you have, just a, what's that word I'm looking for? English, I'm telling you guys, English as a first language sucks because it's tough. It really is. I struggle with English, man. I really do.
Trust me, I know.
I know you know. You've seen me struggle with it a lot. But, I mean, here she is supposed to be just the poster child. There we go. That's the term that's a really good one. Here she is supposed to be the poster child for diversity. And I've got no problem with diversity. I really don't. But it's whenever somebody's views and somebody's worldviews and views on everything, it's not that it's a religious view. It's that her views on things, or, and maybe not her view, but some people's views go against the views of the culture of the United States. It goes against the Constitution. Can I say that? Linda Irwin puts in here, can I say that I can't even say her name. Ilhan Omar is not a legitimate representative, and she puts a smiley face in there, a winky face in there. Yeah, can she say that she is not a legitimate representative?
Sure, she can.
Where is she from anyway? Minnesota. Okay, Democrat from Minnesota. And evidently, this took place on a Twitter message that she did Sunday evening, February 10th. Whatever. But yeah, that's one of the things, and this was something that I was going to bring up, a while back ago, several shows ago. We were talking about just all kinds of stuff, but it's like, we are in a world now where you have, and Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is a prime example of this. This is what happens when you have people who have a very skewed point of view of a worldview, now going into Congress, getting support of the masses, and now they are, in a position to affect, being a congressperson, congresswoman, whatever, right. Somebody whom, and we might as well go ahead and talk about her because this is some great stuff. I mean, this is some great stuff. She apparently got into a Twitter battle not that long ago. So I'm sure that everybody is aware. Does AOC think all cows should be fed Beano to stop the farts? And that's supposedly going to destroy our planet in 12 years? Yes, absolutely. Yeah, Linda put that. That was great. Yeah, because she's like, a net zero, I think, is what she's wanting to get to within the next, by like 2030. She's wanting to, and I'm pretty sure I talked about this last week, but she's wanting to cut down to a net zero. because she says net zero, not like a complete zero emissions, because she really thinks that we're not going to be able to eliminate all the cow farts. Like cow farts is going to be the problem.
Right.
And she's wanting to eliminate, air travel within the next 10 years, build a huge railway system to eliminate the necessity for air travel. She's wanting to retrofit and rebuild every single building across the entire United States to make it more energy efficient. And she's also talking that she wants every single car be a green energy car on the road by 2030. Never going to happen.
Nope.
I believe there was a song that even specified that, never going to get it, never going to get it, never going to get it, never going to get it. Anyway, so yeah, that's what she's saying. In the next 12 years, this is what they want to happen. So she's afraid that the cows farting because they don't have enough Beano in their diet. Give a cow Beano, there'll be no gas. So that's her strategy, is to give all the cows Beano. This way we can save the earth from global warming.
Yeah.
That was awesome, Linda, by the way.
So she makes me wonder, if she can make it to Congress, so can I, apparently.
Oh yeah, I've got this. So there's that. And I'm sure everybody's heard about that one. But here's another one. She cheers because Amazon was going to be putting a headquarters in Queens, if I remember correctly, in New York City, Queens. And she is cheering that they got that stopped. 20,000 job loss. 20,000 jobs just lost because, here you have some people that are very angry about, and now I'm getting into the tweet battle that she got into. All right, I got to find this. Because this was absolutely hilarious, and I laughed because the way the way that she that this argument got played out was just great. So here's the headline. Let me pull this up. Now this article comes from The Blaze. Headline: Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez gets baited by a Twitter troll into a bizarre debate about pizza coupons. Oh,
wow.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, it gets better. It gets better.
Wow.
Sam over there in Facebook says, it's not the methane gas. It's the chemical on the crops that are fed to the cows, plus the hormones injected into them. There was a saying that we had.
For me, it was just Taco Bell.
And, dude, I tell you what, man. Dude, White Castle.
Yeah.
Dude, I can go to White Castle, get me a crave case. Next thing you know, I'm visiting the bathroom. Yep. But, there was a thing that we said, with kids nowadays versus kids our days.
Right.
It's like, dude, they didn't make them like that back when we were in school.
Right.
They didn't.
Nope.
It's all the hormones and everything else that they give, that they put in the meat that, it filters down to our children. Mm-hmm. Anyway, Linda puts in here that if she is going to rebuild my house, we could use new paint, linoleum, carpet. Yeah, dude, I can use some new paint up in here. Mm-hmm. Oops. That kind of fell out. Oops. Anyway, back to this little pizza coupon battle. So apparently the tweet went like this. Customer, and this is the customer speaking. I'd like to order 25 pizzas. I have a $10 off coupon I'd like to use, that I'd like to use too. And AOC says, no, you must pay full menu price. I will not accept your evil coupon. And the customer says, well, I'll just take my business elsewhere. AOC says, hey, boss, I just saved us $10. Can I have a raise? And AOC comes back. She's like, well, it's more like I'd like to order 25 pizza. I made up this $300 off coupon, plus demand that you take it. And if you want to talk about it at all, I'll leave. And Queen says, where did you get this coupon? $300 is too much. Who gave you this? This is weird. And then I told you $300 off 25p. I don't even know where this thing is going. But anyway, it's weird. That was, AOC's reaction to that was like, oh, no, this is ridiculous. But yes, that's what it amounts to, guys. They were given Amazon a coupon. That's basically what it amounted to. A coupon over the next so many years that they can cash in for, there you go. It's a tax break. But that's not to say that, but it was a tax break. I mean, they're still going to be paying taxes, but they got basically a tax deduction. It was a coupon. That's legitimately, this is a very good analogy that the guy threw in there. I mean, they were giving Amazon a coupon. And in return, Queens was going to get 20,000 jobs onto added into the job force, which would help with all kinds of things. And of which case, one of the things too that, AOC was saying was that, oh, this is evil because now, we're going to be getting rid of the homeless and housing prices is going to go up, and that's just not going to help out anybody. So what?
It's similar to what we're doing here. It's called a TIF district. It's to get certain businesses in, and you get them tax break on their construction of building and their taxes on the materials and initial startup costs.
Exactly.
But basically, in short, it's kind of like a coupon.
Mm-hmm. It's a coupon. I mean, I never thought of it like
that. Draw people in, those certain businesses in to get them here and then get those jobs.
And I mean, come on, let's face it. New York needs all the help they can get.
Right.
I mean, dude, businesses are leaving that place left and right. People are leaving that place left and right because of the huge amounts of taxes that they put on everybody.
Kind of like Illinois.
Businesses, individuals. Oh, they're worse. I mean, we at least don't have a death tax.
Not yet.
Now, shut your face. We don't have a death tax yet. Shit. Stop it. But yeah, so, I mean, it's just, yeah.
Yeah.
I just love that analogy of throwing that in there. And AOC got so ticked off about that because she got owned. Let's just face it. She got owned on that.
Is that really surprising?
Well, no, it's not. So we're going to go ahead and slide into a little bit of this old gun debate since I started off on it earlier.
Just one more comment on her.
What's that?
She's not even, I don't think she's even smart enough to open a box of Twinkies.
Might be right on that.
Yeah.
You might be right on that.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gents, we're going to go ahead and take a quick little bitty break. And let's see here. Whenever we get back, we're going to talk more about this gun thing. Because, hey, you know what? I love defending guns.
Yes, you do.
And here's one of the problems that most of us has had throughout the years. They expected for the Second Amendment to talk for itself. They expected for the Supreme Court, for the court system in general, to adhere to their oath and do the right thing. It hasn't really happened. Not really. No. Unfortunately. So, ladies and gents, in just a couple minutes, we will be right back. This is the Ho Ho Show. Oh, yeah.
You are correct. You are correct.
back, everybody, to the Ho Ho Show. How y'all's doing? That's the wrong screen. Oops. There we go. All right. Welcome back, everybody. How y'all's doing? You kind of hustled over there, didn't you?
Yes, I did.
Yeah. I would ask what you were doing, but I don't really think I want to know.
Well,
I don't want to know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. So now we're going to step into my all-time favorite. What?
We're going to be stepping into something.
Something. Smells kind of fishy. Well, I mean, not really fishy, but.
Hey, speaking of fish, though, did you see where they cut those fish up in the Northwest and they had like all kinds of crap in them, like cocaine, antidepressants, and all kinds of stuff? They did a study on them, and they found all this crap in them, like all that stuff, like even cocaine and these big salmon. Somebody commented, "Man, that's going to be some happy bears up there."
Happy bears.
Happy bears.
Happy bears.
Yeah.
So, guys, we're going to slide into this gun debate. I love this gun debate. This is awesome stuff. So I got a handful of different articles that I pulled up because, you know what, why stop at one when you can have five?
Yeah.
That's just my thing, And if you guys would like to follow along with the articles that I use during the show, you guys can just slide on over to thehohoshow.com, go into the newsfeed tab, and each magazine represents one show. They are all dated. So, I mean, that helps out immensely. And you can see every one of the articles that I use in the show. Follow along if you want to. Otherwise, we'll show you. We'll look at it. We'll read it. It'll be amazing. So here we go. This headline, and this comes from some place that is not even showing me on the screen. I don't know where it came from. Anyway, most Americans incorrectly think that gun murder rates have gotten worse, not better. And I read through this article, and they threw a lot of facts and digits and numbers in there. And basically, from what this is saying, and this is a per capita, gun murders versus, per like 1,000 per capita or whatever, it's actually gotten quite a bit lower. Well, not quite a bit lower, but it's definitely gotten lower. Mm-hmm. Let me look. Okay, so yeah, here we go. I'll just show you. Here's the graph. So we got like 1994, which is whenever I believe it was Clinton that did the whole gun initiative thing that he did in 1994. It was up in that digit way the heck up there. Like over, like 6 point something maybe. Mm-hmm. 6 point something. And then now, or at least in 2017, it was down to like 3, I believe is what it looks like. Where's the number at? I'm looking for the number. Where's the number? Okay, so it started off at 6.2 in 1994, and in 2017, the rate was 3.38. So, per capita, it's actually gotten better. So here we have, just Friday, just yesterday, we have Democrats calling for more gun control after the Aurora shooting, and then the police chief reveals a fact that busts the narrative. And this is why you hear a lot of times that, once something happens and then the facts come out, you have mainstream media just totally ignoring everything, and they don't want to talk about it again. Why? Because the facts don't support their narrative.
Right.
What's the fact that they revealed? Well, they revealed that the guy already had a felony on his record, meaning he was not legal to have a gun in the first place. He already broke the law.
And he didn't know he wasn't allowed to have a gun?
Apparently, he didn't know that he had a felony.
So if he... Yeah, apparently, because otherwise, if he would have known, he wouldn't have done that.
Right. I mean, he wouldn't have, because there's already a law that says you can't. So, I mean, him being a law-abiding citizen... I pooted. Just in case you guys didn't hear that, I said law-abiding citizen, and then I went, and just in case you guys didn't hear that, just thought I'd give you some behind-the-scenes commentary.
Don't let that congresswoman find you. She'll feed you Beano like the cows.
I'll get in trouble. I'm damaging the environment right here, right meow. Well, anyway, There's something wrong with us.
Yeah.
So I asked Google. I went, hey, Google. You shut up, phones. Because I know that if you say that, there are phones that'll go like, EF, what would you like to know, buddy? And I don't want that. So I asked Google, through my web browser, I go, how many gun control laws are there? And the thing said, there are 20,000 gun laws on the books right now.
20,000?
20,000.
Did you ask Victor about it?
I didn't ask Victor about it. He was busy at the time playing with his cube and running around and trying to run off the desk, and I didn't ask him.
Okay.
But yeah, 20,000 laws on the books right now. And the thing says that what we have a problem with, and this is one thing that the fire chief said, that what our problem isn't the gun laws, it's the enforcement. And to be honest with you, I'm going to take this a different direction. We don't necessarily have a problem with enforcement. Yes, we do, but that's not our bigger problem. Our bigger problem is accountability to those different agencies that are responsible for communication with different agencies, okay? Because there's a lot of different cogs in the wheel, and that's one of the big problems, is that there's not more accountability for people that drop the ball and people die. There's no accountability for that. Instead of putting the full-on blame on the person, they want to blame the gun. And instead of blaming the person, or instead of blaming the gun, why don't we blame the gun on the person that dropped the ball and allowed the person to have a gun in the first place, or turn their back whenever a phone call was made saying, maybe this person didn't have a gun.
Or the sheriff's office that stands outside while the shooter just goes on the inside of the school and shoots away. In Florida.
Right, yeah. So if all we're crying for is more gun laws, what you're telling me is the 20,000 gun laws that are already on the books are insufficient, that it wasn't enough. And really, here's one of the things I'd like to know, okay? Because now we're going to slide into a little something different. Now we're going to slide into, get rid of that, because we're moving on. You see, here is, okay, now this article I pulled up. You like that face, don't you? You really love that face. That's an amazing face. I'm telling you what. Whew, that's an amazing one. So this one is, there we go. I'm looking for the stormtroopers. I keep on forgetting I'm looking for the stormtroopers. Now this headline came from Red State. Fighting the second. In just 2 weeks, Illinois has tried to backdoor gun control 7 different times. So I was looking at these, and I was like, well, holy crap, I've seen that like 7 times. That doesn't really surprise me. I mean, of course they'd want to do this.
Right.
So we've got a couple different bills we're going to look at. We got some bills we're going to look at. First on here is Senate Bill 337, SB 337. I'm not going to read some of this crap they threw away in here. I'm just going to give you the bullet points on this. All right? I'm going to keep it simple. Okay. Keep it simple, stupid. The first bullet point on here is it requires a federally licensed firearm dealer in the state of Illinois to also obtain a state license, in which case I'm like, why? To get your FCC, you have to have a state license, a state ID card. What?
Yeah.
What? Or are they saying you have to have a state FCC license? And of which case, that also is stupid, because it's like, dude, you are dealing with, as an FCC dealer, you deal with the state cops directly. There's a department for that and everything. So it's like, all right, so you're basically rewriting another law. Mm-hmm. What's the point? Bullet point number 2 on this, it creates an electronic transaction history that can act as a de facto registry, and of which case, most businesses operate like that anyway, having electronic, sales purchases and whatnot. Okay. You go to Shields, you buy a gun, it's electronic. Yeah. Okay, fine. It kind of sounds like just nonsense gibberish. It doesn't mean anything.
Right.
Bullet point number 3, it requires a licensed firearms dealer to submit to inspections. Well, okay, just so you know, If you have an FCC, whatever address that you are using as your business address, they have the right to come in to look at your paperwork at any time they want to. So you have to submit to inspections, and if you don't, well, you're going to lose your FCC. You know, it's just the way it is. So it's like, okay, so what does SB 337 do? Not anything. Nothing. Linda wrote in here, the newest proposal for gun ownership is requiring you to turn over your social media accounts.
I was just going to get to that.
Uh-huh.
I was literally just going to bring that up as soon as you got done there.
Yep. And she says, hubby would be screwed because he does not use social media. And yeah, you know, I think that's a complete crock of horse manure.
Right.
I mean, I very much do, because it's like, okay, look, there's enough information that you can get on people just by going into a search engine and typing in the person's name. You know, there's enough information that you can get based off of their... I mean, there's so many backdoor ways you can do this that doesn't even go anywhere close to hacking anybody's account, that you can find out enough information to know if this is somebody that should have a gun or should not have a gun, whether this person is a terrorist or whether this person is not a terrorist. There's all kinds of information you can get legally without violating anybody's...
privacy.
Yeah, without violating anybody's privacy, because this is all stuff that people share on the internet on a regular basis anyway. So really, I mean, it's like, why do you want access to my social media? What do you think you're going to find out there that you can't find out just by trying to friend me on Facebook or friend me on Twitter? How many people actually pay attention to the name? I mean, there are people out there that have thousands of friends on Facebook.
Right.
How many of these people do you actually know? How many of these people do you have to like really go, oh, okay, do I know this person? No, then I am not accepting that friend. No, most everybody does. You know, it's Lynn and Luna puts in here that they can eat me. I'm not turning over crap. And you know what? Neither am I. And I'll tell them the same thing I'm telling you guys. You know, there's enough information out there on me. If they can watch my stinking show. They can find out anything they want to know about me right then and there. You know, it's like, holy crap, guys, are you kidding me?
Yeah, I mean, they can't see where I stand on things.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like you're wearing a "Make America Great Again" hat on right now. I mean, come on. Well played, sir. Let's move on to the next one. Senate Bill 107. This one outlaws the possession of any firearm designated by the legislation as an assault weapon, including those already in circulation. Okay, so wait a second. I loved how they actually worded this. Outlaws the possession of any firearm designated by legislation as an assault weapon. And yes, they put assault weapon in the whole little quotation marks, including those already in circulation. Now, here's the important part about this. That legislation designates as an assault weapon. Not what Webster's dictionary defines as an assault weapon.
Right.
It's what the legislation says it's an assault weapon. And what does the legislation say is an assault weapon? Anything that looks scary and is black and is, oh my God, it's going to hurt me just by looking at it. Okay, I'm better. I mean, is that not what legislation calls an assault weapon?
Yeah, and that opens the door up to they can label anything as an assault weapon. And
they have. That's the scary part. They have.
Yeah.
You know, without a legally defined definition of something. And in which case, that's how it used to be back in the day. Assault weapon, as defined by Webster's dictionary, is a weapon that can fire in either a 3 or 4 round burst or in full automatic. Not full semi-automatic, which there is no such thing, as a CNN reporter failed miserably at trying to call something that. And yes, I love calling him out on that. Linda put in here, she goes, Dan, they're going to confiscate my water pistol. You know, they might, because you could put pee in that or something, and that could be bad. That was the best part of that movie. Oh, my God, what was that movie called? Like Flyboy or something? The Boy That Can Fly?
Not sure.
I think it was a Disney movie from back in the day. The guy had, like, a water pistol, and he shoots the bully, and he's like, I'm not afraid of this. I'm like, well, you should be. It's dog pee. I'm like, yes. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Bullet point number 2, it makes it a crime for anyone in possession of a newly designated assault weapon to retain ownership of said firearm more than 300 days after the bill becomes law. Meaning you have to hand over your gun if it becomes part of the, if it becomes defined as a assault weapon within 300 days. How are they going to let people know? I mean, if there's any update to the bill, are they going to send out some mass communication to people and say these weapons are now classified as an assault weapons? You must give them up. Are they doing any type of a buyback, or do they just accept you to be out whatever money you paid for the stinking thing?
Right.
I know which one it probably is. Moving on, forces those who choose not to surrender legally purchased assault weapons to file exemption forms with Illinois State Police, thus creating a registry. Now, here's another thing, guys. People talk about the whole, assault weapons and, anybody can own an assault weapon. It's like, dude, no, wait a second. An assault weapon, assault rifle, as defined by Webster's Dictionary, you already have to have not just an FCC, you have to have an FBI permit, basically, is what it amounts to, if I'm not mistaken. And that you have to have an FBI permit, for them to say that, yes, you can be in possession of an assault rifle, an actual assault rifle, one that is a fully automatic rifle.
Right.
You already have to register those. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Bans any semi-automatic rifle or handgun with either a fixed or removable magazine that can hold more than 10 rounds at a time. That's every gun I have. I mean, I don't have any guns, so therefore I ain't got to worry about this.
Mean those guns that you were wanting.
Hey, I lost them in the tornado.
I heard that from a lot of people.
Yeah, I don't have those guns. I lost them in a tornado. Tornado took my house, took it over to Oz,
Yeah,
and
I hate when that happens.
You know what? Toto has not come back with Charmaine or Agatha or Uriel.
Oh, boy.
Okay, I'm better now. Ban shotguns with a magazine capacity of greater than 5 rounds. Crap. Islam puts in here, that eliminates my service pistol. Absolutely. And that's the thing, though, too. Because one of the things that I have heard about some of these bills is that they're not putting, basically, police exemptions in there.
Right.
They haven't been throwing those in there either. And it's like, okay, so you're going to force all the police agencies to abide by that, too? Of which case they should, because they are not the exemption from a law. They are the example of a law. Therefore, if it's against the law for me to own it, then it's against the law for them to own it. That Illinois gun bill does not exempt police or security. Okay, so there you go. Island just put there in the Spreaker chat. I forgot what chat window that was. I really did. I got 2 chat windows open, guys. I mean, come on.
That include National Guard troops as well?
I don't know if that would. I don't know what type of security and police officers know. I have no idea on National Guard, military. My guess would be, who knows?
Yeah, because in time of peace, they're under the governor's rule,
which is no different than the state, state police force at any rate,
right?
Or sheriff's department, actually.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. All right, moving on. House Bill 892 has, that's the thing about 3D printers and whatnot. So yeah, whatever. House Bill 1467 requires any person or business who sells ammunition of any kind to maintain a record of that person's full name, date of birth, address, date of sale, and FOID card information. Requires the seller of maintain a record of the type, caliber, amount, serial number of the ammunition sold, just all kinds of other crap. The point is, guys, here's the point. Making a long story short, because, I'm tired of talking about this already. Point is, we don't need more gun laws. These things are ridiculous. What we need is better enforcement, but a step further, we need more accountability to those agencies that are supposed to report to other agencies and don't. Wouldn't you agree on that?
Yes.
I think with 20,000 gun laws, there's enough gun laws. If you can't cover every single base that you need to cover with 20,000 freaking laws, 20,001 law is not going to fill in all the holes that you need to fill in. It's not right. Why write another law that basically just says the same thing as like 10,000 laws that are already on the freaking books?
Right.
It's redonkulous. They're writing a law to make themselves feel better, that somehow there's going to be some magic law that they can write that will make criminals not shoot people.
I mean, that doesn't work.
No. I mean, it doesn't. No.
What about those little stickers in the window? Don't those keep criminals from bringing guns in too?
Oh yeah, dude. I was in a gas station the other day, and I was getting gas, and a guy walked in, a criminal walked in, and he held up his gun, and he said, this is a stick up, and I said, this is a gun-free zone. Put your gun back in your car. He was like, oh shit, dude, I'm sorry. I was like, we don't allow cussing in here either. My apologies. And he left. It was amazing.
Wow.
I know, right?
I knew those stickers did.
Yeah,
did
those
wonders.
stickers are amazing.
Yeah.
They absolutely work. And if you believe that, there's no hope for you. Absolutely no hope for you. Better psychological monitoring of people on prescription pharmaceuticals and whatnot. And you know what? Linda, here's the thing, and you know what? Okay, I agree with you, but there's a problem. There's a problem with this, and this is something that I'm pretty sure Brandon, host of the Machine Radio Show, has discussed on his show. But there's a lot of different things out there that's like, okay, if you go and you're having a bad day or having a bad time, you just need somebody to talk to. So he go to a psychiatrist. They have been trying to put a law on the books. Islin says, I'm all for bringing back public executions. Yeah. But they've been trying to put, provisions in there that if you have gone to a psychiatrist, and they can revoke your FOID or your concealed carry license. And in which case it's like, okay, now you basically have people, whom are coming back from war, whom are, coming off of the police force after a bad situation. And now you're making them make a choice, get help or keep my Second Amendment rights. Now, I'm not saying that there shouldn't be, that they shouldn't be, taking a look at that and, taking every case into consideration and monitor it to keep somebody who's on the fringe, keep them from making a bad decision. I'm not saying that, because there should be something like that, but I don't necessarily think solely putting that in the hands of, a psychiatrist as the answer. But, yes, they should definitely keep track of what type of medicines that they're on. And I'm sure that they do in some way, shape or form, let them know about this, But I mean, I don't really like the idea of people whom are otherwise perfectly fine, perfectly capable of defending themselves, and perfectly capable of, that shouldn't lose their right to carry and right to self-defense just because they've had a bad day, they've had a bad time. I don't really think that's a very good place to be, because then it's like, when does the government go into overreach mode to say, and that's where my fear is on that. It's
a slippery slope because if you get a bunch of gun grabbing politicians or even gun grabbing psychiatrists that are liberal leaning, where is that? Just like you said in these laws, they put in broad definitions to where it can encompass a great deal of people that don't need to be in there.
Right. Or they can basically redefine it however they want to fit an individual situation.
Right.
And it's like, yeah. I mean, I understand what you're saying, and I can't say as if I disagree, but that does kind of bother me with that type of an aspect. I mean, granted, I don't want to say that's one case in a million, but, I mean, it is a significant enough of a case that kind of, it bothers me. I mean, whenever you have, you go to a doctor's office for a checkup, and then the question is, how many guns do you have in your house? Well, I'll tell you how many guns I have in my house. None of your damn business.
Right.
That's exactly how many guns I have in my house. What business is it of theirs? I mean, it's like, why are they wanting to know? Well, easy. The government has their little fingers in the healthcare industry now, so they ask all kinds of questions that they didn't used to.
Yes.
But yes, I mean, they do need better psychological monitoring. They do need, I mean, if you're on psychedelics, if you're on shrooms, it's probably not a good idea to have a gun. Just saying.
Right. If your walls are melting, you don't need a gun.
If you're talking to a dragon in your living room, if Puff the Magic Dragon is sitting there next to you, you should not get your gun out. You probably shouldn't have one. Shrooms are bad. Okay. Shrooms are bad. Okay. Don't do drugs. All right, anyway. What else did I have on that? Here's this one. You've seen the original, I know you have, the original, yes, that original movie, Judge Dredd, with,
it's been a while, but
Stevie Wonder and Will Smith was in it.
Yeah. Like his big goldish outfit he had on.
Yeah. Sylvester Stallone and his face, that's who it was.
Wesley Snipes.
Yeah. No. The picture isn't on here. But here's the headline, though. The headline is, 2 big gun companies really, really don't want to make smart guns. Now, let me back up to the other picture that was on here. So this one right here. That's like a fingerprint thing, I brought up Judge Dredd because, that was a movie from back in the day. The original one, not the not the remake that had what's his name in it and the dude and the chick with the slow-mo drug and the thing and whatnot and that fell from the sky and Hans Gruber went splat. I'm not talking about that movie. I'm talking about the original Sylvester Stallone version where, it was, the judge's weapons. They were, they had like a DNA tag in them to where only the judge could fire his sidearm.
Right.
And of which case, it's like, that was cool. So yeah, I guess 2 big gun companies really don't want to do that. I don't know why. I mean, I really didn't read the article. I was just like, dude, this is like the future. This is like Hollywood. You mean they can do that? Dude.
So next, somebody will chop your finger off just to be able to use your gun.
I like my fingers.
And then blame you for the crime.
I'll just be like, it wasn't me. That could work.
They'll finger you for the crime.
My nickname could be Stubby.
I thought it already. Well,
I got an uncle.
We won't go there though.
I got an uncle. I got an uncle, and we call him Uncle Stubby. Because he's missing, that from the first knuckle to the tip of the finger, he's missing that part of his finger. He used to have a habit of like sitting down somewhere, and it was basically he would be sitting like this, with his hand like finger right up his nose, but because he had the tip of his finger cut off, it looked like his finger was up his nose to that first knuckle, So whenever I was a kid, I was like knee high to a grasshopper. I asked my uncle, how did that happen? And my uncle, being the kind of guy he was, he can tell no lie. He wouldn't tell a little, 6-year-old or however old I was, like 3 or whatever. He wouldn't tell me any lie, so he told me the absolute truth. He said that I was picking my nose one day and the booger monster bit it off. And I went, really? Okay, now I have no recollection whether my finger was up my nose or not. I really don't know. Knowing me in the state that I was, with me being young, I probably was picking my nose, which is probably why he said that the booger monster bit it off. But at any rate, I didn't pick my nose for like a year after that. I mean, it was several months before I would even get close to my nose with my finger. But I got to thinking one day, this was me, young, and like intuition met with wisdom and brilliance was born.
Sorry.
Shut up. I was thinking to myself, if this finger, the pointer finger, if this finger's bad, if the booger monster can bite this one off, I can't use that one, Nope. What to do? Yeah. The little finger. I could put my pinky up there, and I can ram it up in there so quick, so hard, that I can choke the little guy out and kill him before he has a chance to bite the tip of my finger off. Well, it didn't work. I didn't kill him, but I made him bleed. The sad part about that is, that's a true story. My uncle told me that he lost the tip of his finger because the booger monster bit it off.
Got me too.
Uh-huh. Right?
Anyway.
Linda puts in here, booger monster. Sounds like a great movie plot. Or it's not. Booger monster or it's not. That's awesome. It'd be a great, great movie. Be a good time.
Yeah, next on the Sci-Fi Channel.
Oh, yeah. There
Right
we go.
after Sharknado.
Yeah. All right, moving on. Well, let's see here.
What else you got on there?
Should we talk about the wall? We really haven't talked about that yet.
Let's go to the wall.
Let's go to the wall. I was going to make sure there wasn't anything else on guns that I was wanting to talk about. I don't think there was.
Oh, boy, there's a picture
Oh,
again.
yeah. You know what? We'll get more into AOC. This headline from The Blaze. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez accused of ethics violation after Twitter user makes unusual discovery. And basically is what this amounts to is, and I don't know the legalities into this. I mean, it looks kind of weird, but I don't know. Maybe you know a little bit more about this than what I do. Her boyfriend, Robert Riley, has a mail.house.gov email account.
Yeah, I seen the headline on that.
Yeah. And he is listed as a staffer for her in her, in the directory for her as a staff member for her. And he's not a staff member. And, again, I don't even understand whether this is, because I guess the fire back on this was, him having that type of an account and having access to something. And they were like, well, spouses have this kind of access all the time, in order to gain access to the calendar for,
Right.
And it's like, so there's nothing to see here,
I'm not sure the particulars as far as access wise, what that would open up to, but
right.
If it's just more of a, procedural thing, I guess you'd say, hell, how many emails that Hillary Clinton destroyed, and
right.
It's
my thing is, like, I don't see it as an issue. I mean, maybe she screwed up by putting her, her boyfriend down as a staffer in order to gain the email access because she didn't know a workaround to do it.
right.
And of which case it's like, okay, why are we turning this into a scandal whenever it's like, is there any evidence of a scandal? But here we go, though. The first AOC scandal, I think it's a reach. I'm going to be honest with you. I'm not a fan of AOC, but this pretty well feels like a reach for me. It's like,
they're not going to do anything, they didn't do anything with Hillary's emails, that scandal.
Well,
compared
regardless
to this,
of
what's this going to do?
Well, regardless of that, I'm not talking Hillary on this. Everybody knows, that was a huge gross violation.
Right.
And the lady, should have been hung for treason. We know this,
Yeah.
But this is something completely different.
Right.
A congresswoman given her boyfriend access to the, .gov, an email address, in which case it's like, okay, what's the big deal? Is there really something to see here? They're making it seems to me like they're making a mountain out of a molehill. I don't really see what the big deal on that
I think
is.
it's just a political move, either by the other side or within their own party themselves.
Right. Come on, we're talking AOC. Somebody who says that the biggest threat to our environment, the something that can bring about World War II, is cow farts.
Right.
Even though World War II happened, come on. Make Cortez a bartender again.
Oh, yeah, I've seen that.
Very nice, Islin. That is awesome. Make Cortez a bartender again. Dude, we should make that hat. That'd be an awesome hat to make.
Put it on one of those little brown hats, that spirally ones. Like that idea?
I like that. I see you wear your brown pants today. That's fitting. Wow. That is awesome. All right, guys, we are going to take a break. And when we get back, we're going to be discussing this whole emergency wall thing that I hit my mic, that Trump did, and the thing and the signing and getting the government back up and going again, and the wall and the this and that. The $8 billion that Trump has confiscated and pulled from other departments. I think it was 3 in there, but that's what we're going to talk about just on the other side of the break. This is the Ho Ho Show, and we will be right back. And welcome back to the Ho Ho Show, ladies and gentlemen.
Hello.
Hello. How y'all doing? Lamb's eyeball puts in there, build that wall. I know some great brickies. Yeah. Well, hi, Victor. Okay, good. He didn't hear that. Sweet. All right. The wall. That's what we're talking about. So, all right, 30 some odd day shutdown, a 3-week temporary. Let's get the show on the road in order to. What button did I press? Okay, good. In order to open up negotiations again. Wow, I just made that thing slow. What happened?
What'd you do? Did you push the red button?
Okay, we're good. And then he signs something and then declares emergency on the border.
Yes.
Yeah. So that's pretty much everything in a nutshell. Now, here's the thing. Granted, one of our, or at least, and this was brought up by another listener, that our number one issue with illegals isn't necessarily the border wall. People migrating. I want to put migrating. I'm not going to call them immigrants because that would be legal immigration. But it's with, people overstaying their visas and whatnot. But, it's one of them things that, and granted, as far as documented proof goes, yeah. But an issue with that is we can't be sure how many people are coming across from the southern border. I mean, we really can't, because we have a lot of, sanctuary cities out there that absolutely refuse to report anything to the federal government, and basically go as far as to kick them out, different things of that nature. And it's like, okay. And one of the things that I brought up on this, guys, and this kind of goes to the liberals out there, before you start condemning President Trump for, or at least questioning what's motivating his actions, which we all know what's going on there. It's because the Republicans failed to follow through with not just President Trump's campaign promise, but their own campaign promise. I mean, come on now. You remember 2016, every one of them campaigned on the same thing.
Right.
It was the same handful, bullet point, this is what we're going to do. And every single one of them in that 2-year period failed to put anything through to build that wall.
Right.
They didn't have that supermajority that they needed. They didn't have enough across the aisle, Democrat, bipartisan support in order to get it through without the filibuster thing. And it's like, look, then you just use a Democratic, what the Democrats did, have like a 1201 meeting and pass the stinking thing in the darkness of night. That's what the Democrats did.
Right.
Why not? And if they want to filibuster it, then okay, just sit in your stinking seats and wait. Wait till they're done filibustering. Make a quick call, get everybody back in there, do the vote. Come on, guys. There's workarounds, okay?
Yeah, they could have used the nuclear option like the Democrats did several years ago on another issue.
Exactly. So, they had options, but they failed to follow through with their campaign promises, period. It's enough said, But back to the topic at hand. Before you start condemning Trump, and this goes to the liberals, this goes to Democrats, this goes to, all of them people out there, before you start condemning him, remember, we learned it from watching you. Because it was former President Barack Hussein Obama that used his pen and a phone to make an executive order for DACA. Now, there's two things on this. Okay, one, DACA is immigration, which is solely in the hands of Congress. None of it falls within the purview of legislature for the executive branch. So that is a complete overreach of what they're supposed to do.
Right.
Correct?
Yes.
Correct, everybody? Shake your heads. Number two, border security is a function of the executive branch. And is it really 100% and completely overreach whenever going as far back as the 1980s with former President Ronald Reagan, that Congress has voted for a wall numerous times. Even a lot of people that are currently in Congress has voted for the wall.
Right.
They have already done this. So the only thing that he is doing is not legislating a law. All he is doing is bypassing the Senate's power of the purse and kind of
executing the law.
He's pulling the funding. Mm-hmm. That's all he's doing. And hello, Contrite Toast. I like the name. Hello, Contrite Toast. contrite
English.
to English. I can speak it. And thank you for the follow, by the way. But yes, that's, he didn't go beyond the power of the executive branch and completely, at least. The law was already there to build the wall. Had been there going as far back as the 80s. It has already been done. Okay, it's already been voted on. The only thing that the Senate failed to do was actually fund it. They failed to write the check. So the only thing that he did was kind of take money from here, took some money from here, took some money from here, and funded it that way. Mm-hmm. That is the only thing that President Trump did. Now, I'm not saying that I completely agree with this, okay? I still can't say that. I mean, I know that I was like, yeah, but I mean, it's still an aspect of, it's still an overreach. I acknowledge that. It's still an overreach. It's nothing compared to what President Barack Obama did with DACA, with numerous other things that he did. This is nothing compared to, let's see, the Affordable Care Act. This is nothing compared to that. All he did was take the law, take his oath of office, take the Constitution with border security seriously, and he pulled funding to make it happen.
As far as declaring a national emergency, I forget the exact number, but I don't know. I can't remember if it was just Obama or a few past presidents. There's like 20-some national emergencies declared in the past 10 to 15 years, I believe it was. And I could be a little off on that, but it was it was quite a bit, from Libya to helping Yemen rebels to this, quite a few things. There has been several national emergencies declared by Obama and past presidents. The only difference is this is Trump. They hate Trump, and a story.
Right. So, I mean, I'm not going to say that I necessarily like what he did, or at least how he did it, okay? Although I do think that the border needed to be secured, though. You know, I mean, we have a lot of things coming up from that southern border. It's not just,
It's not just immigration.
Yeah, it's not just immigration. It's not just gangs that are coming across. You got human trafficking. You have drug smuggling. You have, you have gang members. You have immigrations coming through. You have terrorists coming through. You have people that are coming through that you have no idea who they are, anything about them, and you are welcoming them in with open arms. I mean, come on. I mean, it's like, now, again, and I feel stupid for having to specify, but I have no problem with immigration. I have no problem with Hispanic people, with Mexican people, with any of that. I have no problem with them.
Right.
I have worked with several Spanish-speaking people. I have been taught by numerous. Heck, one of the people that I was taught at one of the jobs that I used to work at, he didn't cross the border. His family didn't cross the border. The border crossed him. His family was here, like in New Mexico or whatever, whenever we purchased it from Canada. So it's like he didn't cross the border. He didn't cross the river. The border crossed him. So it's like, I've got no problem with it. Mm-hmm. My problem is illegal immigration. We have a legal way to do this. We have a way this is supposed to be done. And since the 80s, what everybody has cried about is we have a broken immigration system.
Right.
Why then has the conversation always been about amnesty and never about fixing the immigration problem? I mean, isn't that the truth?
Yeah.
I mean, every single time the argument comes up, it's let's give them amnesty. It's we got to protect the dreamers, and we got to have this, that, and the other, and they're people too.
Yeah,
it's like
they vote for us. We need them.
Yeah, that's what the Democrats say. They vote for us. Linda puts in here, I have no problem with anyone that enters legally, such as legitimate asylum seekers. Exactly. There are legitimate ways to apply for asylum. We have no problem with that. I have no problem with that. But there's a legal and legit way to do this.
Right.
And I have a problem with people taking advantage of our system, of our hospitality, of our laws, of our Constitution. I have a problem with people taking advantage of America.
Because to me, it's a slap in the face to every single person who legally has came in.
Oh, yeah, and they're the ones that are so ticked off about this, it ain't even funny.
Right.
You know, those that have chose the legal way to come in here, you know, they're the ones that are more ticked about this.
Mm-hmm. I just see her eyes looking at me. Cortez.
Oh, right. Yeah, the eyeball.
She's got the eyeball. He's got the eyeball like on the bottom of the page, and it's like looking right at me. Like,
just wait, hold on. Let me move that a little bit.
Oh, the zombie apocalypse.
Oh, yeah. Dude, that's this one put in here, you know, and he says it right. You know, dadgummit. Sorry about that, guys. Let me get in there and turn that stink thing on. Yeah, welcome back to the Ho-Ho Show. Woo-hoo. I'm Ho-Ho. That's Ray. Woohoo! This one put in here because if we fix the problem, the Dems will lose most of their votes.
He's absolutely
or
right.
Voters. Yeah. You know, and this is an aspect of this whole debate that I brought up before, okay? The Republicans don't want to fix it because this is cheap labor. The Democrats don't want to fix it because this is a guaranteed voting block. You know, I mean, these are the ones who are compassionate enough to say, you should just let us in here and vote and do what we want to and be part of the welfare system and this, that, and the other and get free education and everything else that goes along with it. So that's what the Dems get as a voting block. The Republicans get, you know, cheap labor. And it's like, okay, so you have Illinois passing the $15 minimum wage. Do you think that an illegal immigrant is going to make $15 an hour? If you're so compassionate, if you want to help out the woe is me, you know, immigrants for them to get a better life, wouldn't you want them to be able to, you know, do the legal way and to get their own, you know, Social Security number and this way they can actually get the whole minimum wage thing, the $15 an hour like you want, to where they can, you know, get that money and there you go, you know, better themselves? Or would you much rather have the next evolution of slavery? Because isn't that really what we're talking about? The next evolution of slavery?
Right.
Because they want the cheap labor. Cold hard truth, guys. Cold hard truth. That's what this amounts to. It's the next evolution of slavery. Because you have people that are running from the system. Now again, okay, some of these people, you know, yeah, coming from a bad situation, fought everything, beat the odds, and now they're here. You know, and now it's like, great. You know, and some of them, sure, this wasn't their choice to come. You know, they picked up by their mom at a young age, and there you go, and now they're here, and now you want to, you know, kick them back across the border. It's like, well, yeah. I'm sorry, but again, I mean, there's a legal way to do this. You know, and I'm sorry that some people are going to have to pay the price for their parents' bad decision, but even still, it's the legal way to do it, you know. The Dark Horse says, hi. Hi back to you.
Hello.
The Dark Horse. I like the name. So, yeah, how you doing? Over there in Mixerland. I forgot to say that earlier.
So is the phone number thing working fine now?
You know what? To be honest with you, I'm not 100% sure, but that telephone number, as always, is 217-917-4405. If you have anything to add to the wall, to Ocasio-Cortez, to
Twinkies,
you know, Zombieland. I mean, if you have anything to add on Trump, you know, any of that gun control stuff, all that other kind of good stuff, feel free, give us a call. Telephone lines are open. Crap.
International callers, dial 1 first.
Exactly. Don't forget to say that, or don't forget to put that 1 in front of there. I closed out Flipboard because I got sick and tired of AOC looking at
seeing
me.
her stare at you.
Apparently, I mean, I hit the X button. I was like, crap, I did not mean to do that. I hate it when that happens. All right, I'm looking into this a little bit more. I mean, there's so many different articles that I had up on this. It's not even funny.
I think
of course.
Can I
Sorry, go ahead.
interject?
Yeah, interject, sir.
We were talking off air a while back, yesterday or today. I forget which one it was, about what Nancy Pelosi said about.
Oh yeah.
She basically said, "Well, you better hope you don't have a Democratic president that declares a national emergency on gun control." So, what's your thoughts on that?
All right. Well, you know what? So here's my thing. I have my handy-dandy Constitution right here. Okay. Now, for Nancy Pelosi on gun control, the Second Amendment of the United States Constitution clearly says, a well-regulated militia being necessary for the security of a free state. The right of the people to keep and bear arms shall not be infringed. Now, let's go to Article 4, Section 4 of the Constitution. That says,
Cat.
hairball. The United States shall guarantee to every state in the Union a Republican form of government, not a democratic government, because, ladies and gentlemen, you do not want a democratic form of government. Why? Because a democratic form of government is this: two wolves and a sheep voting on what's for dinner. Great for the wolves, terrible for the sheep. And shall protect each of them against invasion and an application of the legislature or of the executive when the legislature cannot be convened against domestic violence. Oh, let me put that in there again. Shall protect each of them, each citizen, against invasion. Wouldn't you consider that border security?
Yes.
So here you have Article 4, Section 4, the function of the executive branch for border security that isn't being done.
So basically, he's not just wanting this; he's mandated to do this.
He is absolutely mandated by the Constitution for border security, which we don't have. So yeah, I mean, he took an oath of office to support and defend the Constitution of the United States of America against all enemies, foreign and domestic. And here you have Nancy Pelosi threatening to arbitrarily, with the next president, just do away with the Second Amendment. And of which case, once the Second Amendment goes, ladies and gentlemen, the First Amendment will be gone too.
Yes.
Because, when we got done, after that whole Declaration of Independence got written, and before the writing of the Constitution, we didn't fight the British with pamphlets and spoken word. No, we used guns and bullets. That's how we secured our freedom.
Right.
Yep. A Democrat president could issue an emergency against guns if they wish for a second revolution. Exactly. Must they be reminded that England tried that, and we shot them in the face in the winter. Linda put in here, the First Amendment is already disappearing. Look at users being banned off of social media for nonviolent, non-hate speech. Absolutely, and I've said this before. I mean, the First Amendment is under attack. Look at, our friend Alex Exum of the Exum Experience and Live Talk. I mean, he has, whenever he got booted from, YouTube, a year or so ago, whenever that was, you being booted from, Facebook was it that you got booted from? And, YouTube, you've had to, kind of tone down on stuff. The computer just lighted different, and it kind of, I caught it in my peripheral, and it kind of distracted me for a second. I don't know what color that thing just did, but it was kind of like, what's going on here? I hate it whenever that happens. Anyway, got booted from Facebook in August. Thank you, Linda. But yeah, I mean, the First Amendment already is under attack. I mean, you have.
Well, just look at Roger Stone. I mean, it boils. If you want to be honest, it just boils down to his reporting and him leaking stuff out that shouldn't be going on. So they find some trumped up charges, no pun intended. And
I don't believe you. I think that pun was intended.
And so if we don't like what you're saying, we'll just find something on you. Send in about 50 FBI agents with high powered automatic rifles and because you never know, you might throw something at me.
And they had absolutely no idea. CNN had no idea this was going down, considering
they were in his front yard.
A nobody got told to be in there and run your camera.
So the First Amendment is definitely under attack.
I'm sorry, what was that?
The First Amendment is definitely is under
absolutely.
attack.
Islam put in here that I'm fully expecting Facebook to collapse. Time for us to start our own platforms, and absolutely, I mean, that's the thing. And I've said this time and time again that we need to have our ears to the ground to the next big thing. And I tell you what, guys, all right, you look at Facebook, you look at YouTube, you look at what they're doing. Okay, this is why this is hard for another company to do this. Okay. Let's just use my own personal, what I do as an example. Okay. I do this. I live stream. I go to Twitch, YouTube, Mixer, Facebook, Periscope, and that is on the video format. I do Spreaker, which is for the audio music or audio portion of it, and this is streamed live. And this is, Spreaker, there's a subscription fee. Restream is free, but to stream to Facebook, there is a subscription fee. I have to pay in order to use it to stream to that platform. Okay. It's free. YouTube, free. YouTube is like the second biggest search engine out there. You've got Google, you've got YouTube. YouTube is an amazing source for information. You want to know how something's done? YouTube it, baby. You can watch a video on it. You can get the information right meow. Awesome source. Can't knock it, but what's the option? Or what do you get? Okay. You get basically anything you want. YouTube, live stream. I'm not limited on the length of my stream. I am not limited on the day, the time. I'm not limited on bandwidth. I'm not limited on anything. They pretty well accept whatever I give them. If they have any issues with the bandwidth that I'm sending to them, the bit rate, they tone it down themselves. There's nothing I got to do to it. It's amazing. It's great. I love it. If I were to use a different service out there, it would cost me hundreds of dollars a month to do the same thing. I'm not guaranteed traffic any way, shape, or form. I'm not guaranteed traffic on YouTube. But I'm not guaranteed any type of traffic. But it's going to cost me a butt ton of money for opening up a portal to stream into their hard drives or stream into their whatever. It's going to cost me a butt ton to do that. It costs money. Streaming service costs money. Hard drives cost money. All that crap costs money. Think about how much people watch YouTube. I heard numbers on this not that long ago. The numbers were astronomical. I mean, holy crap. The amount of time people spend watching YouTube, the amount of time that people record onto YouTube, it's like, holy crap. There's a lot. Okay? This is no small number. But why YouTube can do it for free is because it is the second most popular search out there on the intranet, on the interwebs. It's huge.
How'd you like to have stock in that when it first?
Oh God, yes.
Put like 10 grand down way back when. And
dude, I seen an article not that long ago. It was like, if you had, if you put $1,000 into Coca-Cola, this is how much money you would have today. Mm-hmm. But my point is, okay, they can do all this stuff for free because of the traffic that gets driven to their site, and they can put all the cost for, for the tech support, for the operations, for the hard drive, for everything. They can put all that onto advertisers. That's why they don't have to charge you as a viewer and me as a content creator any money to do any of this. That's why. So a new up and coming is going to charge either you, the viewer, or me, the content creator. And whenever you have a free option, are you really going to spend a couple $100s a month whenever you have a free option as a content creator? As a viewer, are you really going to spend that additional money into, a subscription to this partially no-name service whenever you have a free option of YouTube? I mean, that's what the problem is. People don't understand that if you want to make something relevant, if you want the next big thing, it's going to take a little bit of a sacrifice. It's going to take some subscriptions. It's going to take that. Brandon hosted the Machine Radio Show. He has, and Island, actually, I'm pretty sure that you have, doing some research into other alternatives and other options out there. And of which case, dude, we need that. We need those options because, yes, Facebook, Twitter, even YouTube, their days are numbered. There was a time when everybody was like, MySpace is the place to be.
Yes.
It's never going to go anywhere. And now, it's barely a memory.
Right.
I mean, newbies out there are like, what's MySpace?
Well, we talked about this before. I got bored a few months back before the tornado hit, and I looked up my old MySpace account, and there was people on my friends list. I was like, under assumed names. I was like, who the heck is this?
Right.
And it was just, it was a little different than what it was back then, but
it's still there.
it's still there, but it's everybody switched over to Facebook, and it's like now Facebook's the thing. But I think you're right.
In all honesty, though, I mean, Facebook is, I've heard this said that when your parents are on Facebook, Facebook is no longer cool. That's and I mean, come on, those younger generation out there, you guys can, it's when your parents are on it, then it's like, this isn't cool anymore. So, I mean, you have the younger generation that are already on the next best thing.
Was that one of those cows outside?
Yes,
you better call the congresswoman.
And that was amazing timing too. That was great. Wow. Island put on there. He's like, there is enough of us geeks and nerds out there to get it done. And you're right. There are. Island, there's definitely enough of us out there that we can get this done.
Yeah. If you guys got time, go check out, if you haven't heard of it already, gab.com. GAB.com.
GAB.com.
Yeah,
and Island, what was that one that, Brandon was talking about? It might have been 2 weeks ago. I don't completely remember. I'll know it if I heard it, but I don't remember. Maybe you can, push that little brain way back machine button and, push the red button. Don't push the red button. We don't know what that red button does right now. That thing could do anything. We don't even know.
Yes.
It's scary.
Because we don't have Twinkies on us.
We don't have Twinkies. We don't want to put... What? I'm all of a sudden hungry for it. Never mind.
Which one?
I'm not hungry for anything.
A white chocolate or dark chocolate ding dong?
White chocolate. White
chocolate ding dong.
I opened the regular ding dong, but I haven't opened the white chocolate one yet. I mean, I took it out of the package to compare, but I just didn't eat it though.
Do we need to go take a road trip and get you some ding dongs?
No, I got some in the trunk.
Oh.
No, every time I open the trunk, I grab a ding dong.
That's nice.
Island put, that means I have to think, though. True that, sir. True that. I know what you mean. There are issues with that. So, but yeah, and you know what? I seen something, too. Speaking of this whole Facebook thing. Let me see if I even put it on there. I didn't put it on there. Let me go into my, of course I'm checking out. And I didn't actually even think I would get into that, so I didn't bring it up anything. But I had something on Facebook that I had looked at. I saved it, but that was as far as I got. Look at that. Look at that mug. I didn't know who that is. You know who that is? The headline says Trump just got his first 2020 Republican challenger, former Massachusetts Governor Bill Weld. Isn't that spiffy-diffy? Anyway. Wow. So, and it was something to do with Facebook. I know it was. Something like Facebook and FCC. Yeah, there it is.
There it is.
Right there. Speak and ye shall find. Facebook in talks with FTC, not FCC. Possible record fine looms.
He has that look on his face like, please, I don't want to go to prison. I wouldn't be good in prison.
I don't think he'd be too good in prison.
No.
Just CNN Business. Headline from Seth, that dude from CNN Business. You know, and that's the thing of where, this is where Facebook and Twitter is really, everybody knows what they do, okay? This isn't a secret. Everybody knows what they do. Everybody knows that they pick and choose what gets shown where. It's not some arbitrary algorithm that only looks at who you are and what you're wanting, that they pick and choose what's going to get sent out where.
Right.
They know this. And then that's what Facebook does, because before, Facebook had the argument that, look, we're just like a telephone company. All we do is connect this person to that person. We make connections. That's all they do. They don't have anything to do with the information. They just make connections to where this person can talk to this person and see what the heck's going on. They don't monitor or restrict the flow of information. Nothing like that whatsoever. They would never do that. So that's why they were able. The phrase Jack Dorsey admits to and uses is correlated. Let me try that again. The phrase Jack Dorsey admits to and uses is correlated content. Okay. But yeah, it's basically been admitted to that, yes, they restrict the flow of information. See, before they had the, like I said, before they had the, we are a communications company that doesn't need to operate on the same type of, regulations that, that a news organization does. But now, but it's definitely obviously clear that, and they have been caught with internal memos and different leaks and this, that, and the other, and, different Senate hearings that they've done with, Senator Ted Cruz going, do you block the flow of information? And obviously they do.
Right.
And I think we've known this since day one. And that is where Facebook and Twitter has failed, is because they want to classify themselves as one thing, but yet they are completely something different. That's one of the outrages of the right. It isn't that they're doing it. It's that they are lying their butt off about what they're doing.
Right.
You guys are claiming to be a nonpartisan, just a communications people that are just connecting one person to another. That's all we're doing. Well, if that's all you were doing, well, then I'd have way more views on my video.
Yeah.
But that's not what they're doing.
Nope.
It's not what you're doing at all.
Nope.
You're lying their butts off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's horrible.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm. Liar, liar, pants on fire. Yep.
I was watching a video earlier today, and it was something that Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez said, and they gave her the liar, liar, pants on fire review. And it was like, really? We're using a metric system, a measurement system that I learned in the playground during recess in kindergarten as an adult.
Did you see the meme on Facebook? It says
it's meme.
Meme.
It's not meme. It's not meme. It's meme. Meme. Come on.
Did you see the meme about her that Even blondes are now telling jokes about her.
Oh, dude, that's awesome.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, they're getting mad at us. You know, people that do commentary, they're getting mad at us about using her as a target. But it's like, dude, she makes it way too easy. I mean, she's
when
like,
the target's as big as the barn door, what do you expect?
Right. I mean, she's just, I mean, come on. Saying that cow farts is going to bring about the end of the world in 12 years. If we can't get them cow farts under control, I mean, come on. You know, and here she is, you know, and I was watching this other video. It's like, here she is trying to teach economy and budget and how a progressive tax system works to a guy who is a millionaire. You're really, as a former bartender, not that bartenders can't be smart and intelligent, but, I mean, come on. When you're talking a former bartender turned overnight sensation as the congresswoman, talking to and trying to educate on finances, a millionaire, I mean, come on, dude. Your argument holds no water. What are you going to teach a millionaire being, you know, it's kind of one of them things. It's like, you know, you are a little bitty glass trying to talk to a swimming pool about, wow, if only you knew how to be an ocean. And it's like, I'm a swimming pool. I have a bigger idea about it than you do. Right. I mean, obviously, you know. She is gold for alternative media, and she is. She writes the scripts for that commentary, and she does. Since she came on the scene, my eyeballs have gotten plenty of exercise rolling. That is awesome, Linda. And this one, very good on those. She writes the jokes herself. We don't have to write the jokes. All we got to do is repeat what it is that she says. She's writing the jokes for us. Them stinking cow farts is going to be the end of the world. Are you serious?
It could be a sci-fi movie out of that, you know?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. I've gotten, my eyeballs have gotten all kinds of exercise rolling because of some of the stuff that has been said. And I tell you what, I really don't like watching a lot of interviews with, I mean, granted, I've seen my fair share. And I do enjoy them, you know, because I really do but it's like, I don't like mutant cow farts from outer space. Yes, that would be an awesome title. Sorry for that. That was a little louder than expected.
Yeah.
Mutant cow farts
my eardrums
from outer
broke.
Space. It's okay. It's okay. So, you know, but it's like, you know, it's I don't like being reminded so often that you're a congresswoman.
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of like, okay, I don't remember who the guy was. Maybe you guys out there will remember, but there was this was some type of a hearing, okay? And a general, or at least a higher up military person, was talking, you know, it was like a Senate Arms Committee meeting or something, you know, the general and the congressperson, whether he was in the House or the Senate, I have absolutely no clue, but he was concerned about the amount of people that would be on this base on an island, because if too many people got on the island, it would tip over.
And he was serious.
That was his legitimate argument for having a base with too many people on an island. It would tip over.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
I'll tell you what, though, man. I kind of have to give the guy props. The general, or at least a military person, because he did not fall out of his chair laughing. I don't think I would have been able to keep my composure. I really don't. You know, or I mean, if nothing else, it's a good thing he did not have a gun, because people like that should not reproduce.
Right.
We don't need that. But it's like, you write laws that affect me. and you don't know basic things about islands? They're not boats, dude. They don't just move. This isn't Waterworld, for crying out loud. I know Kevin Costner's your hero. But dude, seriously. I mean, is this the kind of people that we want representing us in Washington? People that thinks that the general should have knife-handed him. Exactly right, sir. The knife hand. I mean, are these really the people we want representing us in Congress? I mean, the guy was serious about being concerned about an island tipping over. That was I was lost on that one. I was like, are you serious?
Yeah.
There's people that stupid in Congress? I mean, I can understand that coming from a guy in kindergarten. You know, I can understand that kind of an argument from somebody in kindergarten, but somebody that has graduated high school, somebody that supposedly went to college, is an educated individual that doesn't know that islands don't float.
Well, my bigger concern is the people that actually voted for these idiots. You know, where's their brains at?
Yeah. Or at least after such lunacy is made clear in the public eye.
Right.
And they vote for them again.
Exactly.
That's a big concern of me. It's like, wait a second, isn't this the guy that thought the island would want to flip over? Do we really want to put him in Washington? It'll be fun. No, guys, that's not a reason to put somebody in Washington. That's a reason to put somebody on a stage as a comic.
Well, I think
Or somebody in a movie.
Part of the problem is, you know, a lot of the voters, they couldn't even tell you what the person's name is half the time. They just say, oh, okay, R, okay, or a D.
Right.
Mom always voted this way. Dad always voted. I'll just vote this way. I don't even know who the guy is. I'm just going to vote that way. You know, nobody does any research anymore, even on a basic level. They just, okay, that's the way Dad voted. I'll just vote that way.
Right. And that's sad because, I mean, I've tracked down this awesome, amazing website.
How amazing.
It is an absolutely amazing website. It's Heritage Action. Rewind, play. Heritage Action for America. Representative Hank Johnson and Admiral Robert F. Willard was the name of the two people in that little showdown of brilliance that I was talking about earlier with the island tipping over. Thank you, Island. I do appreciate that. Again, Representative Hank Johnson thinking that a island will tip over due to overpopulation on one side of the island. Anyway, but there's this awesome thing in here that you can put that has a scorecard of stuff. You can get member scores. You can get how they have voted on key issues, you know, that gives them a vote on how conservative they are. And if you look at our district here in Illinois, you've got Representative Rodney Davis has a 42%. Illinois is only 23% conservative. That's scary. Mm-hmm. Senator Dick Durbin is 3% conservative, along with Senator Tammy Duckworth.
Surprised they even got 3%.
Right. Yeah, I mean, Dick Durbin is not conservative at all, but apparently, you know, and it even gets past key votes. Was it a thumb up or a thumb down? And how do they score? And you can look at this. You can get this information right there at that website, heritageaction.com/scorecard, and you can look up, based off of your zip code, your representatives to where you can have an educated knowledge of how these people vote.
Yeah.
Dick Durbin, he lives up to his name. Yes, he does. But yeah, I mean, we live in the information age. There is absolutely no reason, no excuse for anybody to go into the voting booth ignorant of what's going on. Even if all you know is, I am extremely liberal, then you can go and you can look at that 3% and say, yes, Dick Durbin, you are the representative for me.
Right.
But to walk into it and go, I am a Republican, I am a conservative, I'm going to vote for Dick Durbin. Wait a second, he's only got a 3% rating on the conservative scale. Are you stupid? Well, I'm voting for Dick Durbin. Okay.
Yeah.
So, ladies and gents, that's all we got. That's it.
Is that it?
That's it.
You sure?
Yeah. That's all I got.
Oh.
Yeah. Because actually, for WSP, I've only got 1 minute left. Isn't that awesome?
Wow.
I know. We've ran almost 2 hours.
So we can restart it and do another
Shush.
3, right?
No, we cannot. No.
Oh.
No. Actually, I can do another 3 on this one right here.
All right.
Because I've got a 5-hour clock.
All right.
But I'm not doing it.
It's Saturday.
I don't care what day it is. I got stuff to do. Informative and fun as always. Thank you, Linda. You are always awesome, welcome, and amazing. She's awesome. Well, guys, that is all I've got for today. You all have yourself a wonderful day. Good night. Sleep tight, and if them bed bugs bite, well then, by golly, bite them back. Y'all have a good night.